Hey everyone, Bancroft here from another exciting blah 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 blah. Hey everyone, Bancroft here from Attack on Productions. Got another profile coming your way. I'm classifying this one as a fun deck profile because, in my honest opinion, it can never go truly in competitive standards. Now, it has done well in testing. I played Fluff twice. One was his Jiren deck. I think the other one was Zamasu, but it's Zamasu. He just negated everything I threw at him, so it didn't really matter. But I did play against a Boo deck with this deck, and Boo just ate everything on the field. So I'm classifying this as a fun deck. I still enjoy playing it. I really do, actually, more than I thought I would. This deck was actually asked for us to build by, if I'm correct, Larry Hall II. This was an interesting deck, and I will go into detail. When Set 4 came out, Dark was all like, I want to play Piccolo. I want to play Namekians. We built it. It just wasn't good. He eventually went the Slug route, which is, everyone knows Slug is great. So I was like, okay, we'll play on the back burner until TB3 came out. And we started experimenting. Okay, yellow, green. We threw it together. It just still didn't flow right. Like, there was no, like, true finisher to the deck. I mean, you could get the nail cards out. You could get the Piccolos out that were pretty strong. But there was no, like, true endgame for it, and so we kind of let it go. So Larry, when you asked for this deck profile to be made, I was determined to make this something again. And originally I was going to go with the Surge Piccolo leader because the amount of cards he draws, it allowed you to see what you're going to get. If you wanted it, cool, take it and then draw another card. But when the errata happened, it fell, unfortunately. You lost a lot of momentum of drawing the amount of cards you needed. You didn't see certain engines anymore, and it fell flat to me. That was a green, blue, and yellow variant for this deck that focused mainly on Namekians. So obviously we took this and went the Wish route instead. So starting with the leader. Oh, before I get started, like always, like, subscribe if you like our content. Put down in the comments anything you'd like to see us make for you in the future. And if you see any changes you would like to add to this deck, or things that you think, hey, you missed out on this opportunity, let me know in the comments, because I don't look into decks when I make them. I just go, all right, I'm making a deck. Let me see what I can build and go from there. I don't like looking at other people's builds, and I know that's the idea. You look at someone's builds, you go, okay, I can use this and make something from here. I want to start fresh, and that's what I do.
I've never seen the crazy look in your eye that you had when you were testing this deck out, though. I will say that.
Like I said, I actually ended up enjoying this more than I thought I would. So did they the leader, like every Wish leader? Typically, they cannot attack on the front side. They have active main burst too, so you take the top two cards of your deck, put them to your drop, and then you can search through your deck or life for up to 2 Dragon Balls, add them to your hand, and once you have 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area, you awaken. In this case, you wish. When you wish, you're able to select one Namekian card from your drop area, add it to your hand, and flip this card over. Piccolo, who now can attack, has an activate main once per turn, which has 3 separate effects. You can either draw 1 card, play 1 yellow desire card. Of course, you have the energy costs for the equal amount of energy or greater to the card's initial cost, and you can activate a skill pretty much for free. Or you can remove all 7 Dragon Balls from game, and then choose all of your yellow Namekian leaders and yellow Namekian battle cards to get plus 10,000 power for duration of turn. And then at the end of your turn, you flip this card back over to Dende. Now, in my experience, I have actually never used that third ability. Like, I thought about it once, but I was like, nope. I got a better play here. So, and we'll get into those plays in a second. So that leader aside, it wouldn't be a Wish deck, obviously, if you didn't play Dragon Balls. And I chose to go just 7 generic Dragon Balls, maybe because these are the pretty ones, but also because they're free to play, help me get through my deck a lot faster. And truth be told, this deck still has hand control issues. Not hand control, but maintaining cards in my hand. And I don't want to... I don't want to burn energy, that's what it is, on the energy cost Dragon Balls. Granted, you could use the 4-star for a nice little power boost, but without a skill list, it's not that great. So, there's my Dragon Balls. To help find those Dragon Balls, or help pull them back into my hand from my drop area in case I need to draw more cards, I played 2 Dragon Radars. Now, Dragon Radars can also search up to, so in total, they search up the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up 2 Dragon Balls from them, or Desire cards, and add them to your hand. So they help me get my Desire cards as well, which I can use later down the road. Or I could choose up 2 Dragon Balls or Desire cards from my drop area, add them to my hand. There you go. Typically, that's the approach you want to do. So I play 2 of those. Now, to get the Namekian engine off, I play 2 Wishmaker Dendays. This card is a beautiful card to play turn 1, mainly because it allows me to pull another Dragon Ball to my hand from my deck. So, turn 1, you leader, you burst 2, get 2 Dragon Balls, you play Dende, gets another Dragon Ball. So, if you didn't start with a Dragon Ball, there's 3 Dragon Balls right there. And for some odd reason, I have the greatest luck in the world. I typically get to pull like 5 or 6 always on turn 1. It's amazing.
Because you really count cards.
So, Dende has a secondary effect where it's activate main. You choose one under Namekian card in your battle area, place this card underneath it, and it gets a boost of 5,000 power for duration of turn. That's pretty awesome. And that goes into the next part of the engine. The reason why we're making this deck in the first place, Nell, Pride of Namek. So, Nell has an auto which bursts 2. At the end of battle, which you combo with this card from your hand, if your leader card is a Namekian card, play this card in rest mode. So, turn 1. Hopefully you go first. That's the ideal approach too.
Should be.
You play Dende, get Dragon Ball, boom. Now you have roughly 5 cards in your drop area. You're good there. All right. You pass turn. Your opponent goes. They do what they need to do. Dende attack you. Most times, especially in today's standards, they're probably only going to attack you one time, unless of course you're playing against one of the black decks because they can attack like 8 times in a turn. When they attack, you just combo with Nail. You burst 2 more cards, and then in combo, you put them in rest mode. So the idea, hopefully, there is that that's the end of their combo, and they're not attacking anymore, and they don't try to attack your Nail. So on your next turn, you stand your cards up, so now you have a Dende and a Nail in the field. You activate Leader's ability, you get the burst 2, yada yada yada. Then you activate Dende's Wish. Not Dende's Wish, sorry, Dende's activate main. Put him underneath Nail. Once he's underneath Nail, you pay 2 of your energy, because you should have 2 energy, to play Nell. Life or Death Nell. It is evolved for 2 energy on top of any Nell. Now, why you need 2 cards underneath him, this is why you need Dende underneath him, is because if there are 2 or more Namekian cards under this card, it gains Barrier and Double Strike. So it helps keep it alive, it's a little bit more aggressive. Also, you have plenty of cards in your drop area now from doing the bursting and then the burst from Nell as well. So his auto sparking 5. When you play this card, you may choose up to 1 card from your life, add it to your hand. If you do, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switch to rest mode. So, if you're doing early game, there's a good chance there's not going to be a target for it, unfortunately. If there is, sweet, get that card out of there. If you think it's annoying. If not, fine. But late game, that can come in handy, and that's helped me out a lot. I think I tapped the blocker once because of that. So that's Nail in a nutshell. Now, if you are going for a later game, and you don't have like I did on the field, but you have the Nail in the field, you could pay 2 energy for the Namekian Solidarity Piccolo, which has an auto when you play this card, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 Namekian card in your battle area, and up to 3 Namekian cards in your drop area. Place those chosen cards from your drop area underneath the chosen card in the battlefield. So, if you had the regular Nail on the field, you play him, you put card underneath him, and then you evolve him. So that way he still has the barrier, he still has a double strike, so he's hopefully should be able to stay on the field. Now, I know a lot of stuff in today's game is starting to ignore barrier, but that's just kind of the risk. You're protecting half the cards. So now, for those Dendes, for those 1-drop Nells, those 2-drop Piccolos, I do play Assimilate. I do play as a 4 of, just because I'm also trying to thin my deck out. This is a free card you can play to pull cards from your hand, from your deck, and if you go late game, like in my experience, turn 5 or 6 are pretty dicey. You're typically running like 5 cards in your deck at that point. If you get this card, you charge it. You don't play it anymore. So it's just a nice charge card for you. Now, once your leader is awakened, so what I'd like to do, if you burst your Nail, or if you have Nail in your hand, and you want to hold off on evolving him, you combo him off, and then when your leader awakens, you put it back to your hand. It's just a good way of recurring it to your hand. But for other cards, like the 2-drop Piccolo, the 1-drop Nail, and the Dende, once they're in your drop area, you can play our next card, Twin Arrival. You can use 3 yellow energy, or use your leader's activate main once per turn. This card gains Desire in all areas. If your leader is yellow Shinron card, choose up to 2 yellow Namekian cards with energy cost of 2 or less in your drop area and play them. So the idea for this would be, say, turn 3. And I'm like, okay, I'm awakened. I have 3 energy. I can play Twin Revival now. Use my leader's ability. I play it. I play both these cards. And then I would go, all right, Piccolo's effect. I'll put another Namekian card underneath now. And then with 2 energy, I evolve now into his other form. By doing that, I still have 1 energy left over, and I didn't burn anything else from my hand because I just played 1 card, and then I evolved that card. So like, all your other engine there came from your drop, which is the idea of this game, kind of bringing things back alive and whatnot. Now, if you're not seeing that nail card, you could find a way to bring it to your drop area by playing 2 of the Dr. Joro super combos. If you're unfamiliar, it is a green-yellow super combo. If your leader card is green or yellow, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose 1 green or yellow battle card with energy cost 4 or less from your deck and place it into your drop area and shuffle your deck. So like I say, if you're not seeing that nail for some reason, the 4-drop, super combo early on, get that nail in there before you awaken. That way you can awaken and bring the nail back to your hand. That's just one way of looking at it. Now, I went through our cards and I cannot find the right super combo for this because there are no Namekian yellow super combos, which is kind of frustrating, but I understand it because you don't want Twin Revival to take it. Actually, sorry, there is one. It's Guru, but he's a 3-drop. And I chose not to use him because Twin Revival, Assimilate can't pull him, unfortunately. So the one I'm going to use is actually ignore Shu. It's Beerus. So I'm going to edit Beerus on top of this. So it's Beerus. I think it's like Far Cry or Cry Far, something like that, who has a sparking. If you have 5 cards in your drop, you can activate this super combo, draw 1 card, yada yada yada. So you don't have to worry about your life. It's an ideal super combo for a Wish deck. Like I said, if there was a 2-drop Namekian card instead for super comboing that was for yellow leaders, I would totally use that in a heartbeat, but there is not, unfortunately. So for the time being, it is Beerus, not Shu. Alright. So that kind of covers the majority of the yellow stuff. So we're going to go into a little bit of my green engine. We play 3 of the promo Piccolo Cunning Strategist. Yes, for some reason I have to proxy 2 of these because I know we have a set of these. I just don't know where they're at, unfortunately. So until I can find them, I have to proxy them for right now. It's okay. It's only proxying in this deck, so it works out. I do have 1 just to showcase it. But Auto Burst 3. When you play this card from your hand, choose up to 1 Namekian or Universe 7 card from your hand with original energy cost of 4 or less, negate its skills for a duration of turn, and play it. So, I play the card, he's fine, I activate, his auto goes off, he bursts 3, then my opponent has to choose they want to do countering and whatnot because of the whole timing situation. And then I play Piccolo Assimilate ability. This card is amazing. He has Barrier, which granted on your turn is useless, but he has Barrier. He has Activate Battle once per turn. Bond 2, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards of energy cost 5 or less, KO it, and then if you KO card, draw a card. So this card's phenomenal for 2 reasons. For 1, he has Barrier, so he's protected from a lot of stuff. Thing 2, a lot of times I have, like I said, your goal is to try to get this nail out as well, who also has Barrier. So your bond should stay. And typically when I play that 3-drop promo card, I go straight into this guy, and by that point, that's my turn because I've already attacked everything else. This is my last play for the turn because I don't want anything happening to the other card. So that way I guarantee my bond. My opponent goes to their turn, and now from here on, I can activate battle and pop a battle card. Simple as that. Now, I get it. This card is expensive, so if for some reason you don't have it, which is plausible, another option in my opinion is Calming Power Piccolo. There's 2 things with this card though, unfortunately. If you want to play him straight up to get his activate main on turn 1, you have to have 2 green energy, which I don't like doing. But it's still not a bad card. So, Barrier, Double Strike, activate main, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Simple as that. The reason why I like Assimilate a little bit more, I can do it during my turn and my opponent's turn. Where Calming Piccolo, I can only do it during my turn. Now, obviously, neither one will get past Barrier, and Assimilate has a cap at 5 energy or less, but he gives me a draw with that. Like I mentioned earlier, this deck can be finicky towards the end with what cards left in my deck, but I still like Assimilate over Calming Power Piccolo, but Calming Power Piccolo could be a reasonable option in my opinion. Now let's go into a little bit more of my protection. I do play 2 sacrifices. Negate the attack if your leader card is a Namekian card If your leader's Namekian, when you activate this card's counter, you may choose one card from your life, add it to your hand. If you do, you may activate this card's counter without paying its energy cost. It's a nice counter negate for this type of leader. But I also play 3 Flying Nimbus, an ideal negate for yellow in my opinion. It stops battles for most of the time. Hopefully your opponent forgets that they're playing against a yellow deck and they swing with their leader first. You use this, that way then they only attack 1 battle card. If they happen to know yellow a lot, which most players do now, you swing with battle cards first, and then you swing with your leader, because you're trying to get that Flying Nimbus out there. Now, if you're trying to go for a little bit further down the road, and you have like your assimilate out, and your Nell's still on the board, he's not being touched yet, which is nice. Let's put him right there. And you're like, okay, cool, it's my turn. All right, I got my 2 cards out there already. I'm good there. You know what? You could pay 1 energy for Nell, and then you could just turn around, activate Twin Revival, bring out 2 more cards, and with those 2 additional cards, we play Belmont, which is an amazing card because he can be played just by choosing 3 of your battle cards and place them in your owner's drop area, and you play this card from hand. So you can kind of flood the field with cards. You can attack with them if you want to. You can super combo with them or whatever you need to do. Or you just leave them there trying to bait negates out, and then you just get rid of them. Play Belmont on the field. He is a blocker as well, so you don't actually have to attack with him. But when you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So you're starting to see a theme here with cards. I'm trying to go for certain cards that kill off other cards. It's obviously the best ability, trying to keep that field a little bit in check. Because my bigger cards, I play 2 of the Topo 6-drop successors. When you play this card, or when it's placed in your drop area from your battle area by a skill, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, negate its skills, and KO it. No restrictions, just bye-bye, which is amazing. So if you can make it happen, play the Belmont, or get rid of the Nell with another 2-drop that you use the Assimilate with. Sorry, not Assimilate, Twin Revival with. Bring out Topo. He pops a card. You swing of Topo, activate battle on Assimilate. He pops a card. I mean, you're just keeping that opponent's field unchecked. So, in my last card in this deck, it is, obviously, it's a green-yellow deck. I had to go Cell Xeno. I will say, technically, Cell has Namekian DNA, so technically he fits in this. I know Topo's a stretch, and Belmont's a stretch as well, but I feel like Cell was one of the best options because it is a green-yellow deck. He is a great card at the end of the game, especially if you have 5 life. When you play this card, choose 3 of your cards in your opponent's hands, place them in the drop area. This card gains dual attack for the duration of the turn, so he's a quad strike with dual attack. And if you played everything else right, you're swinging with him first. You're swinging with the other guy first. You're swinging with all your cards first, then you bring him out and go from there. And when you pop him using Successor, he pops another card in the field, so hopefully if your opponent is trying to bank on a blocker, you get rid of that blocker. Simple as that. So, that is my take on a Namekian-based deck, which uses the 1-drop Nell, which I don't know where he's at right now. Come on, where are you? There you are. Boom. Like I said earlier, I actually really enjoyed this deck more than I thought I would, and I'm glad I got a chance to build this deck. So, for anyone that's out there who wants to see us make decks, like I said, I don't care what it is, just give me something and I will shoot for the moon.
I'm telling you all, he beat his head into the wall making this deck. He will make anything. I wish I had that kind of resolve in my life, but I sure don't.
So, I think next I'm making a UI deck based off the starter deck engine with that 2-drop Goku.
It's so silly.
Hey, you're going to make the 10-drop stuff. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Like always, like, subscribe, hit the there's a bell, I think, but I don't care if you hit the bell or not. Just
subscribe.
Hope you enjoy our content.
Below.
If you enjoy our content, let us know. That's all I need to know. Or if there's anything changes in this deck, something I miss, let me know as well. This video ran a little bit longer than I expected to. I do apologize. Like always,
Fluff out.